Hear you. Well, today we're going to be talking about lots of different things. We're going to be looking at what's been happening at Chelsea recently via the use of one of our new football cliches of the day. And later on, Ruben and I will once again be challenging each other to see if we can guess some very complicated football expressions, idiomatic expressions in English and in Spanish in one of our newest sections that we like to call Play on Words. First, though, let's start the programme, as always, by revealing the identity of last week's mystery player.
Yes. Mystery player.
Okay, let's see. Ruben, are you there now? No, it's still not there. Okay, still missing. I will kick us off. I'm gonna have to do everybody's job today. Unbelievable. I'll kick us off with clue number one. So clue number one is ha jugado en Inglaterra y Alemania. So he played in England and in Germany. He played in England and in Germany. Clue number two. Fue subcampeón del mundo y subcampeón de Europa. Now remember, subcampeón in English, we say runner up. Runner up. So runner like corredor and then up like arriba. Okay? Runner up. So he was runner up in a World Cup, fue subcampeón del mundo, y subcampeón de Europa. And he was a runner up, in the European Championship as well. So he never won either of those tournaments. He was only the runner up. Clue number three. Tiene un hijo llamado Luis en honor a Luis Figo. He named his son Luis in honor of Luis Figo. He named his son Luis in honor, I can't even speak today, in honor of Luis Figo. Clue number four. He had another son, tuvo un hijo llamado Emilio en honor a Emilio Butragueño. He had another son called Emilio in honor of Emilio Butragueño. And clue number five, in 2012, he was detenido. How do we say detenido? We say arrested. He was arrested for driving at 211 kilometers per hour. Okay, so he was driving very, very fast. He's not a race car driver. He is a footballer, in fact. But he was, obviously has to be a bit more careful with his driving because you don't want to be driving at 211 kilometers an hour. Definitely not safe. Ruben, are you there now or no? I don't know if Ruben's with us. Oh no, he's disappeared again. It looks like I might be solo today. In Scotland, we would say to be on your Tod, T-O-D, to be on your Tod. So it looks like I'm possibly on my Tod today. It looks like I'm possibly alone today. Well, I will tell you who the mystery player was. The mystery player was, in fact, and let's see if we can get him up on this screen. It was, in fact, Michael Ballack. Michael Ballack, the great German player, actually born in East Germany before the Berlin Wall, the Mur de Berlin, before the Berlin Wall came down. He was born in the east side of Germany, but he ended up being one of the most important players in the United Germany team, but he never won a major tournament. And he was also very unlucky in the Champions League as well. We can see in that photo that we have on Twitch, Michael Ballack looking very angry with a referee who is calvo, who's bald. Now, I don't know if our younger viewers will remember this. Maybe if you're 18 or 17 or 19, maybe you won't remember this. But the year that Barcelona won the Champions League with Guardiola's team, 2009, there was a very controversial match at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea, and Michael Ballack was playing for Chelsea at the time. A lot of decisions went in favour of Barcelona, and Barcelona, thanks to a goal from Andres Iniesta, Barcelona managed to advance to the final of the Champions League, and they won that year. So it was an incredibly emotional moment for a lot of these Chelsea players. I remember Michael Ballack running after, chasing the referee. I remember Didier Drogba, who was a striker at the time from the Ivory Coast. I remember him shouting and screaming at the television cameras and using some very, let's say, bad language, tacos, using some swear words, shouting at the camera. I remember it was a very emotional kind of game. And it was one that Chelsea fans, still talk about today. When the game, it was like a steal. It was a robbery, un robo, robbery from Barcelona in their eyes. For Barcelona fans, it was a very, very famous night, and that goal by Iniesta is one of the most famous goals in Barcelona's history, I would say. I don't actually have the list of players because Ruben is still not here, unfortunately. We've been unable to connect with him. Oh, I think he's here now. Ruben, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey!
Oh, my God.
Do you know how to say in Spanish, in English, Ruben, más vale tarde que nunca?
Más vale tarde que nunca. Estaba luchando para poder entrar y me estaba costando.
That's okay, don't worry. Well, we would say better late than never, for más vale tarde que nunca. Better late than never. So don't worry, technical problems are always bad. I think it's good to learn how to solucionar these problems on the go, sobre la marcha, on the go.
Yeah, because Nacho is a crack and he knows how to fix it.
Thank you, Nacho. Oh, I don't know, ¿qué haríamos sin ti? What would we do without you, Nacho? Absolute legend. Okay, well, did we have many winners this week for Michael Ballack, Ruben?
Of course, sí, Michael Ballack era el jugador misterioso, nos dice Ramón Bayón, Ballack in the greatest robbery in the history. Talking about the picture we share, the picture running behind the famous ref.
Yeah, the Norwegian referee, I believe he was from Norway. I can't remember his name, I just remember him as the bald referee from that game. But yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, J.R. Barbancho nos dice, Ballack, he was arrested in my hometown and the punishment was around 10,000 euros. His lawyer's arguments to reduce his punishment in the judgment was that his defendant was unemployed.
Wow, that takes a lot of guts. You'd have a lot of jeta, a lot of guts to do that.
Jordi Nordic también nos dice Ballack. Barnes nos dice Iniesta scored the crucial goal that night, short after a controversial handball in the box not given. También acertaron CBP. Daniel Martín Castillo, un clásico, más power. Mauro, que dice Michael Ballack, un crack, lástima sus lesiones. Y Singponji, Michael Ballack.
Amazing. Some great observations as well. And as I was saying before you arrived, Ruben, that game against Barcelona, Chelsea versus Barcelona, one of the best football games I've ever seen. But Chelsea fans and Barcelona fans remember it in a different way. In your opinion, was it a robbery? Was it a robo?
Well, it's difficult to say. Obviously, I think the ref was estaba un poco preocupado because I don't know if you remember that the ref sent off Eric Abidal.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric Abidal didn't touch Didier Drogba. Mm-hmm. And I think esa sensación cuando los árbitros se dan cuenta de que han hecho algo mal y que intentas compensarlo, yo creo que es lo que le pasó.
Exactly. So that's a very good observation. So había expulsado, he had sent off Eric Abidal, and it was like he was trying to compensate, and he was preocupado, he was worried, he was trying to compensate for the mistake, the mistake that he made. So yeah, I would agree there's maybe an element of that. Ultimately, he was criticised for being a weak referee. Now, when I say weak, I don't mean semana. I mean débil, That he was a bit of a weak referee. And in these games, you need a strong referee. You need somebody who's going to insist, who's going to be strong. And I don't think it was him that night. And I felt bad for him. Yeah, me da pena. I feel bad for him.
Yeah. Obviously, it wasn't an easy match because everybody was very nervous, especially Michael Ballack at the end of the match.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, that's not easy. But, well, I think it was a very, very, very intensive match. I love that kind of match.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the kind of match that make the Champions League what it is, and make it such a special competition. So, yeah, I thought it was fantastic. Obviously, a lot of our listeners remembered the game and remember Michael Ballack as a player. He was a fantastic player. But just sadly, he was runner-up so many times. He won a lot of things. He won things with Chelsea. Leagues and things like that. But he never won an international tournament. Yeah. Very good. Okay, well, now we're going to move on to one of our newest sections, which is our football cliche of the day.
They started in the front foot when you're under the cosh.
You're not at the races.
Had enough chances to put the game to bed.
Cliche of the day.
I love the music. We sometimes say jingle in English, that kind of sort of music that you have for an advert, for example. we say that's a jingle is the kind of music that is the kind of
Spanish
short
we say
music.
the same. Use jingle. For
Jingle.
these kind of things. Yeah,
Okay.
jingle.
Here's me explaining it, and you already use it in Spanish. Very
Sí,
interesting.
sí, puedes decir jingle perfectamente porque se utiliza igual.
Ah, there you go. Okay, well, we're going to have a look, those on Twitch joining us, we're going to have a look at the article that's on the left. We're going to use a cliche that's brought to you by the Guardian newspaper. Now, on Tuesday night, or was it maybe Wednesday morning? I can't remember. I think it was Wednesday morning, actually. They published an article with the title, Brighton Dent Chelsea's title hopes as Adam Webster header forces the draw. So for those of you that didn't follow the Premier League or that don't follow the Premier League, Brighton drew, empató, Brighton drew 1-1 with Chelsea. And it was thanks to a header by a player called Adam Webster. Now, my question is, Ruben, Brighton dent Chelsea's title hopes. Now, what does dent mean?
Claro, dent es cuando vas en el coche y te lo han abollado. Someone dented your car, ¿no?
Yep.
O sea, sería algo así como si, por ejemplo, bueno, básicamente lo que se titular es que el Brighton abolla, ¿no? Abolla al Chelsea y esperando a que Adam Webster cabecee y force el empate.
So that's what it literally means, but that doesn't make too much sense, does it?
So, técnicamente lo que dice es que el Brighton le ha hecho daño al Chelsea porque le ha abollado, le ha hecho algo, le ha hecho como... De alguna manera le ha perjudicado, ¿no?
Yeah, interesting. Well, that's I like your logic. You're a bit like me last week trying to figure out what what was it? Cabotaje was. It's interesting the logic when you don't know the exact meaning of the word. So yes, so let's break this down. Brighton dent Chelsea's title hopes. So it's not espera, it's not a verb, it's actually a noun, esperanza. Yeah. Okay, so title hopes would be las esperanzas, esperanzas de ganar la liga. That would be the title hopes. So Brighton dent Chelsea's title hopes. It means like hacen daño, you know? Now, it doesn't translate exactly. However, I'm going to tell you how I would translate this, and you can maybe correct me. If I was a Spanish translator, I would probably use the famous Spanish word pinchazo. I would say pinchazo.
Sí.
Why? Because Chelsea are trying to win the league. They're going for the league. But you have this wonderful word that can sum up so many things with pinchazo. Would that be a correct use of the word pinchazo?
Sí, puedes decir pinchazo, mellar las opciones para seguir luchando por el título. Que de alguna manera, sí, se puede traducir por ha pinchado. El Chelsea ha pinchado contra Brighton y esto va a perjudicar a sus opciones para ganar el título.
That's it. Fantastic. Oh, I'm very happy with that. Yes, because pinchazo or pinchar in this context, I only learned about that a couple of years ago, and a couple of months ago actually, was when I first saw the word. I'd never heard of it before. It's just reading like Marca in Spanish and Diario As and things like that. I kept seeing this word pinchazo, and I think it's fantastic. It's almost like if you're riding your bike and you ride over some glass or something and you have a flat tire.
Yeah.
You know, a flat tire, there's no air in it. So I like that. Very good image. Do you use this?
You are in a race.
Uh-huh.
And you are going to ser perjudicado por esto, ¿no?
Exactly. Yeah, you're going to be hurt by this. You could probably say you're going to be hurt. Your chances or your hopes, esperanzas, your hopes are going to be hurt by this. Fantastic. Well done. Great. Okay. Now, last week, I'm still a little bit nervous about this. Okay, Ruben said he's going to make it easy for me. Last week we had our debut of this new section where we tried to guess each other's football expressions or things that we say in football, and we've made it really difficult for each other. Okay, this section is called Play on Words.
Play on Words.
I'm so nervous. Okay, Ruben, can you quickly describe what we're going to do in this section for people that didn't hear us last week?
Yes, what we are going to do is we are going to introduce an expression or a specific vocabulary, and we have to try to find out what we're talking about. And I'm going to introduce you Spanish words, and you are going to introduce to me English words.
English words, exactly. And sometimes the Spanish words are from different countries. They're not all from Spain. Sometimes they're from Argentina.
This week we have a word from Spain and another one from Peru.
Oh my God. I think Peru have got absolutely no chance. Right, I'm going to start, right? I'm going to challenge you because after all, it is an English show. So I'm going to give you my expressions. Are you ready, Ruben?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, expression number 1 is to fluff your lines.
Fluff your lines. Okay, a ver.
So not nines, lines, okay? We'll try and translate it literally. Fluff your lines.
Fluff your lines. A ver, fluff. A Diego Armando Maradona le llamaban el pelusa, que era algo así como fluffy, algo así, ¿no? Your lines me suena a teatro. Como no pierdas tus líneas, ¿no? Don't lose your lines when you are going to be an actor. I don't have any idea.
Yeah.
When you have to you are an actor and you have to say your lines, don't lose them. Okay. So, I don't know. Okay. So, to fluff your lines could be something like don't do it properly because you are not doing well because you are not doing what you have to do because you lose your lines.
Let's see. No. I don't. Now you're on the right track in the sense that you say that it's probably a negative thing. You're not doing something correctly. Okay, so in that sense, you're on the right track. Vas por el buen camino. You're going on the right track. So to fluff, you're totally correct. Fluff is like it's a bit like peludo. But we use it for animals. Okay, so for example, fluffy is a very common name for a rabbit. Okay, lots of people have rabbits called Fluffy. Okay, but it's nothing to do with that. Fluff could also be like liarse in the sense of me estoy liando con los verbos. I'm fluffing these. I'm making a mistake. I'm getting confused. I'm getting confused. And you're totally correct. Lines, the expression comes from theatre. Yeah? If you fluff your lines, it means you forget your lines or you don't say things correctly. I fluffed my lines earlier in the program when I was giving the introduction, okay?
Puede ser un error garrafal así al estilo Salinas contra Estados Unidos o Loyo Olaya o uno de esas que pifiar de un golf cantado que le has fallado, algo así?
You're even closer, but go to the other end of the pitch. It's not the goalkeeper, it's the striker.
Por los delanteros, claro. Un delantero que ha fallado una ocasión clarísima, ¿no?
Exactly. Fantastic. Fallar una ocasión clarísima. That's how I would translate it.
Por ejemplo, cuando Julio Salinas falla la ocasión clarísima en España en el Mundial de Estados Unidos contra Italia, ¿cómo diría? Salinas fluff his lines.
Perfect. Yeah, he had a chance, but then he fluffed his lines. Okay. It's a super common expression that commentators use in the United Kingdom. Again, I don't have much experience with United States commentators, but in the United Kingdom, you hear it probably every game. If somebody has a bad shot, when they should maybe at least have a shot on target, they say, "Oh, he fluffed his lines there." Okay, it just means that he panicked at the last minute.
Claro, cuando fallas un gol cantado. Entonces, fallar un gol cantado es que ya le están cantando porque es evidente. Y aquí en este caso, pues el jugador ha fallado algo estrepitoso y utilizamos to fluff your lines.
Yeah, that's it. Bueno. I could give you a free one actually. Gol cantado, you can also say to miss a sitter. To miss a sitter.
To miss a sitter.
Sitter, yeah, S-I-T-T-E-R. So it was sitting there, ready to be scored, and he missed it, to miss a sitter. So that's 2 free football expressions for you there. Couple of questions in the chat before you test me, Ruben.
Okay.
Couple of questions in the chat. Jose says, hey, just out of curiosity, is the radio host from Merseyside? Definitely from the north. You're correct that I'm from the north, but I'm not from the north of England. I'm from the west of Scotland. I'm from Glasgow. So that's why my accent is a little bit different. But you're getting there. Nobody's ever confused me with Liverpool before, I have to say. Sometimes people think I'm Irish, but people have never confused me with Liverpool. And we've got a comment from Giselle in the comments. He fluffed his lens. No, he fluffed his lines, not lens like lentillas, lines like líneas. So he fluffed his lines.
Viene del teatro, ¿no? Cuando tú vas a hacer tu actuación, tienes tus líneas.
Yep.
Your lines.
Exactly, and you make a mistake. Yeah, you make a mistake, basically. So that's it. To fluff your lines. There you go. Okay, right, I'm ready. Test me.
Already. Me ha
Come on.
gustado mucho la tuya. Bueno, ahora vamos a Perú. Vamos a empezar con la palabra peruana.
Mm-hmm.
La palabra peruana que tengo para ti es chalaca.
Chalaca.
Chalaca, te voy a dar una frase. Tremenda chalaca de Ronaldo.
I'm looking at Nacho, and his face suggests that he has no idea. Is that correct, Nacho? He's nodding. He's got no idea.
But now I think I know with the sentence.
Yeah. Right. I think I might know
that's
from the
really
sentence as
clever.
well.
Very
Chalaca.
smart.
Yeah. Now, right. Okay. I'm gonna try and go back. I've got a rough idea. I think what it is, but I'm gonna try and go back to the origins. Okay. When I think chalaca, it sounds onomatopoeic. Now, do you know what I mean by onomatopoeic?
Sí,
But-
onomatopeya.
Yeah. It sounds like it's something that's explosive. Chalaca. No?
No.
No? I'm not on the right thing?
Mira,
Oh,
te cuento,
Jesus.
Te doy una pista.
Okay.
En Perú hay una zona que se llama el Callao, ¿vale? Es una ciudad y provincia de Perú y a sus habitantes, pues una chica de allí sería una ciudad chalaca, ¿vale? Y te voy a dar otra pista. También hay una comida que son los choritos a la chalaca. Un chorito es un mejillón y los choritos a la chalaca son como mejillones como la vinagreta, que tienen como cebolla, tomate picado, maíz.
It sounds a bit like ceviche, but I don't know if it's the
Sí,
same.
sí, bueno, un poco la comida peruana hace una fusión así de ese estilo. Bueno, pues los choritos a la chalaca, te estoy despistando más de lo que te estoy ayudando, se usan ahí en Perú. Pero es que además la chalaca es algo relacionado con el mundo del fútbol. Muy relacionado. Y de hecho creo que incluso, no sé si en algunas zonas de Colombia o Ecuador también se utiliza, en lugar de una forma muy común, muy no reconocida. Cuando te lo diga vas a decir, no me lo puedo creer, pero...
Nacho, are these clues helping or are they making things worse? I think they're making things worse. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're making things worse. Yeah, Nacho agrees. Jesus, Ruben, that's really difficult. You know, we have the receptionist in Ballack is from Peru, Lucinda. I don't know if she's from Lima, but she's from Peru.
Sepa lo que es una chalaca, ¿eh? No la había diciendo chalaca esa Lucinda.
God, I wish you'd asked me this after. I could have maybe cheated and ran and asked her. Lucinda, what's a chalaca? Chalaca from Ronaldo. Now, so Ronaldo, what does Ronaldo do? Ronaldo scores a lot of goals.
Yeah, Ronaldo scored a very, very famous goal doing a chalaca.
Ah, okay.
Juventus de Turín.
Right. Okay, you've given me that's too obvious now. That's easy in your opinion. That's really difficult. I'm going to say overhead kick.
Yes, an overhead kick. Nosotros en el resto de los países se dice chilena, pero en Perú se dice chalaca. No sé si Colombia y Ecuador también utilizan el término de chalaca, pero es exactamente lo mismo que una chilena. En Perú se dice chalaca.
That's it, chalaca. Yeah. Gee, that's so. To me, it's kind of obvious now. Well, when I said like explosive, I mean like in the sense it's a great goal. My original guess was going to be like un trayazo, you know, like a big, like a great goal from a long distance. That was my original guess. But una chalaca. So would you say marcar?
Sí, tú puedes decir tremenda chalaca de Ronaldo, marcar de chalaca. Sí.
Unbelievable. I'm going to ask Lucinda if she knows that. An interesting Peruvian expression. We've got two more of these expressions coming up after the break. I'm going to see if Ruben manages to guess my second one. At the moment, we're tied, empatados, at 0-0. Let's see if we can get some points next time. See you in a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Ruben, are you there with us?
Yes, I'm still here.
Thank God. You know when we want to say gracias a Dios, we don't say thanks God, we say thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God. Yeah, I hear a lot of people saying thanks God. It's thank God is what we say. So just before we continue, I got a very funny comment. I read it out on Twitch earlier, but for those of you listening on the radio, you'll maybe enjoy this. So I remember earlier I said that I'm not from Merseyside, I'm from Glasgow. Yeah? I'm from Scotland. Somebody commented saying, "Oh, okay, that's why you sound a bit like a pirate." Hablas como un pirata. I was like, well, and Ewan McGregor. Okay, so I agree with 50% of that, guys. Okay, I do sound like Ewan McGregor. I'm from Ewan McGregor is from the same place as me. But a pirate is like, for me, a pirate is either Irish, like Southern Irish, like Fitz maybe. Fitz that does the show at 9 a.m. He sounds a bit like a pirate. And perhaps people from the southwest of England, maybe Bristol or something like that, or Somerset, Torquay, lots and lots of places. But not me. I don't sound like a pirate. But don't worry, I'm not offended. No me offendo. I'm not offended. But I just want accuracy. But yes, I do sound a little bit like Ewan McGregor or James McAvoy as well. People say I sound like James McAvoy. So that's it. Very good. Okay, Ruben, I believe it's my turn, isn't it? Yes, okay. Right, let's see. My expression was to sky it.
To sky it.
To sky it.
Sky like cielo, no?
Like cielo.
Can you give me a sentence?
Yeah, okay. Nah, I don't want to make it too obvious now. Okay, it's in the same idea as the last clue. Okay, so it's related to attacking players. Yeah? Attacking players. Attacking players do this, to sky it. For example, he had a great chance and then skied it. Skied.
Is it positive or negative?
Nacho, what do you think? Positive or negative?
I think it's positive.
Ooh.
To sky, porque sería como cielear, o sea, como tirar al cielo, como
yeah.
Es como encumbrarse.
Encumbrarse. No.
No, man. Oh my God.
I think the penny has dropped with Nacho. Se está dando cuenta. The penny's dropped maybe a little bit that it's not a positive thing. It's a negative thing.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay, Nacho. I think Nacho's on the right track. I could give you a massive clue, but it would be it's too big. Okay, I'll give you a maybe more niche, more specific clue. David Beckham skied at least 3 penalties that I can think of.
Y lanzar al cielo.
Yay!
Lanzar al cielo. Lanzar al cielo, claro. A ver, como los penaltis del Barcelona en la final con el Esteagua también, como el penalti de
Roberto Baggio. Yeah.
Sí, Roberto Baggio en Estados Unidos.
Yeah.
To sky it.
To sky
qué bueno.
Really, really common in Scotland, England, Wales, Ireland. To sky a chance, it means that you put the chance over the bar, you shoot the chance over the bar. I'll give you another example. Roberto Baggio skied the penalty against Brazil.
Claro.
Yeah.
Nosotros en español decimos mandar a las nubes, también, claro.
To send into the clouds, mandar a las nubes.
Usamos clouds instead of sky.
Yeah.
Pero es muy parecido, claro.
There you go, exactly. Kubla Khan says to sky, lanzar al cielo. Exactly, yeah. Literally, that's what we say, yeah. A las nubes. Very good.
Qué bueno.
Excellent. Okay, Ruben, this is my chance. This is
you can win.
In tennis, you'd say match point.
Yeah.
No?
La frase que te voy a poner es estar puesto por el ayuntamiento.
Estar puesto por el ayuntamiento, to be placed or to be put by the city council or the town council.
Yes. Y podría darte una frase como, por ejemplo, el portero está puesto por el ayuntamiento.
Oh man.
What does it mean?
Oh man, I've got a chance and I'm fluffing my lines. And I would say I'm making a complete mess of this. Now, it's strange that sounds really familiar to me. I'm sure I've heard that like before. From a commentator. It's something that commentators say, isn't it?
Un comentador lo diría. El portero está puesto por el ayuntamiento.
Puesto por el ayuntamiento.
O puede ser cualquier posición, no tiene por qué ser el portero.
Okay. See, to be honest, Ruben, I've got absolutely no idea what that could be. El portero está puesto por el ayuntamiento. So could you use it? You can use it in any position as well.
Yeah, en cualquier posición. Puedes decir, ese lateral derecho está puesto por el ayuntamiento.
It's
not positive.
Okay. Right, okay. So is it maybe like he's not good enough to play? He doesn't have the level to play?
I didn't understand exactly what you said.
So he doesn't have the adequate level? No tiene el nivel?
Sí, en cierta manera sí, venga, te la doy por buena. Técnicamente es que no hace nada, no está haciendo nada. O sea, es como, está ahí, pues le han dejado ahí, no está aportando nada al equipo, está puesto por el ayuntamiento.
Kublai Khan says to be useless, inútil.
Sí,
I think that's
esta
what...
expresión la puedes utilizar en cualquier ámbito de la vida.
Yeah,
Estar
yeah.
puesto por el ayuntamiento es algo que puedes utilizar para muchas personas fuera del mundo del fútbol también.
Okay, I like that, to be useless. Yeah, we could maybe say to be... In fact, I'm not going to... Yeah, okay, I'll tell you. To be a dummy is what we would say. To be a dummy. Like
Ya.
maniquí.
Sí,
Like,
sí.
yeah,
Cuando
to
no
be a-
aportas nada, no aportas nada, tú puedes decir estar puesto por el ayuntamiento y lo puedes aplicar. No, esa persona está puesta por el ayuntamiento, quiere decir
Yeah.
que no está aportando nada.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to be a dummy. Or in Scotland, we say to be a diddy. D-I-D-D-Y. My dad,
Diddy.
I've heard him say that many times about the Scotland national team, that it's a team of diddies, you could say. It means that they're... Literally, it's un equipo de tontos is what they say. It's a team of diddies, stupid people. Very good. Okay, well, that was a miserable 0-0 draw, but I've learned something, so that's...
No. The last one, I think you did it properly, so you won it.
Oh,
You won.
thank you so
You
much.
won.
Such a generous man.
Congratulations, Tommy.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, well, we're going to advance now just a little bit. We're going to have a look at what's been happening in the world of football in recent days, and that means that it's time for this week's press review.
Press review.
Okay, right. Now, let's start with a big controversy. Okay, we've got three stories today. We're going to start with a big controversy that happened last weekend, and that is with the Seville Derby, which in Spain you call the Big Derby, don't you, or the Great Derby, El Gran Derby.
El Gran Derby. Bueno, el Sevilla-Betis para mí es un gran derby, ¿eh? Siempre hay mucha tensión.
Yeah. Oh, it's massive. Yeah, but it's interesting that the name in the sense that you have El Clásico for Barcelona, Madrid. You have the Big Derby for Sevilla against Betis. So what happened in the derby at the weekend? Ruben, can you read out that title?
Yeah, pues Real Betis versus Sevilla suspended after Jordan hit by object thrown from crowd.
Very good, exactly. Fantastic. Okay, so Real Betis against Sevilla suspended. Would we say suspendido?
Suspendido.
Suspendido. After Jordan
Jordan
hit...
fuera golpeado, o sea, se golpeaba por un objeto que lanzaron desde la grada.
Right.
Desde la afición.
Exactly. So this is one of these ones that translates directly. So there are no real football expressions there. Perhaps suspended is a good thing. We can say suspended for suspendido. Normally it's because of a reason. If it's for weather or something like that, we would just say postponed, which is aplazado, is what we would say. A meeting can be postponed, but suspended implies that it's already started and then it stopped, which is exactly what happened on, was it Saturday or Sunday? I think it was Saturday.
Si utilizas suspended, ¿hay un matiz negativo o no? En lugar de postpone.
Not necessarily. But it means that the matiz, the sort of nuance is that the thing, the event, in this case the game, had already started. Ya había empezado. It had already started. Whereas if it's postponed, it never started.
Okay.
Nunca empezó. It never started. So yeah, incredible thing. I've never actually seen anything like that apart from I remember two occasions. One in Italy, it was Inter Milan against AC Milan. There was a flare. Do you say Bengala?
Sí, flare.
A flare.
Yo recuerdo, sobre todo, en el estadio del Español, que una bengala mató a un niño hace muchos años. Fue
Oh my God.
una noticia trágica en los años 90.
Terrible.
Muy recordada.
It was crazy and like just the opposite of something that you'd like to see in a football stadium. Somebody throwing a stick. In this case, it was at Jordan. And in my opinion, they were totally correct to suspend the game. I think you can't, there's a line that you can't cross in terms of football. And yeah, I completely agree with the referee's decision. And they played the game the next day. Betis ultimately won 2-1. But we'll see there perhaps be sanctions against Betis now because of the situation, because normally there has to be some kind of punishment, castigo, some kind of punishment when players behave in this way. Okay, let's move on to another headline from this week. We'll just get the image up there from Twitch. Very sad news. Real Madrid legend Paco Gento passes away aged 88. What a player he was. Just an incredible football player. How many European Cups did he have? 6, no?
Yeah, he won 6 European Cups. He's the player who most European Cups have won. Because there are 5 with Seedorf, Ronaldo, Costa Curta, Maldini, I think.
Yeah.
And Paco Gento was the only one who won 6.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God, yeah, absolutely incredible. I saw a great photo. It was somebody posted it on Twitter. It was a quote from Di Stefano about him. I'm trying to find it here on Twitter, but he basically said he had a shot like un cañón. He had a shot like a cannon, and he was quick as well. He was very, very fast. My grandfather actually saw him play in person in Glasgow.
Yeah.
My grandfather was at that famous 1960 Hampden Park final against Eintracht Frankfurt, and Real Madrid were. Puskás said that they llegaron un nivel. They reached a level of perfection in that game against Eintracht Frankfurt, and my grandfather saw Paco Gento play, and Puskás and Di Stefano and Del Sol, Amancio, all these guys, and my grandfather still likes Real Madrid. He's still a sort of fan of Real Madrid because he saw them playing. So very, very sad, and he obviously leaves a footballing sort of legacy, no? Because Llorente, that plays for Atletico, that's his is that his nephew?
Llorente is incredible because there are a lot of players playing in Real Madrid, Atlético de Madrid, playing basket.
Basketball,
it's incredible. I think they have a special genetic.
Very good. Genética. How do we say genética, guys? I don't know if you know in the comments. Do you know how to say genética?
Sí, bueno, nosotros decimos genética.
You can say genetics, but we say, we could say, do you know how to say vaqueros?
Vaqueros?
Like the trousers.
Ah, sí?
It would be jeans, okay? Jeans, okay?
Ah.
Okay, so se pronuncia igual, okay? It's pronounced the same, but we spell it G-E-N-E-S. So you could say that they have
genes.
They have good.
Los genes, no?
Yeah, exactly. They have good genes. I think the Maldini family have good genes as well, no?
Yeah, of course. They have very good genes.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the trousers or your jeans, no?
Yeah, but it's the same pronunciation, of vaqueros. But yeah, no, nothing to do. But yeah, I think that family also had good genes. He was a great professional, Paco Gento, and just one of the most successful cup players of all time with a European Cup. Six trophies. I mean, will anybody ever do that again? I don't know. Really, 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 really sad news that he passed away. Yeah. Very good. And we're on to the last story. Another bit of difficult news for Spanish managers. Everton sack manager Rafa Benitez after just 7 months. I don't even know if it was 7 months. I think it might have been 6 months. There's an article from ITV in the United Kingdom. Interesting that you can say to sack somebody. You can also say to, how do you say this, Pedir?
Despedir is the same like fire.
Very good, exactly. To
fire,
somebody.
sack.
Yep, exactly. Now,
it's common to read sack in the headlines.
Yeah, I think in a football context, they usually talk about sack. I think usually in a work context, sometimes it's fire, to fire somebody. If you want to be very politically correct and you don't want to say fire, sometimes they say soltar, to let go is what they say sometimes in these situations with work. For example, somebody takes you into their office and they say, Jim or Rachel, we're going to have to let you go. Yeah, we're going to have to let you go. Basically, you're fired. But it's a nice way to say.
Let go sería como dejar ir también, ¿no?
That's it. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, soltar is like to let go somebody, but it's just a euphemism for firing. So Everton sack manager Rafa Benitez after just 7 months. It's difficult for people to, in charge, yeah. And it's interesting because in England he has a very good reputation, but I think in Spain what he achieved with Valencia is almost unbelievable when you think about it now, isn't it? That achievement of what he did with that Valencia team.
In my opinion, Rafa Benitez está infravalorado en España.
Underrated, we would say.
Underrated. Rafa Benitez is underrated in Spain.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what he won in Valencia was awesome. When he came to Real Madrid, he was doing some moves that then Zinedine Zidane did, and Zidane could do it. However, Rafa Benitez didn't do it. I don't know if you remember that Rafa Benitez was playing with Casemiro, like a midfielder. And the press was very angry about that.
Yeah.
And then Zinedine Zidane did the same. And Casemiro, well, I am not going to talk about Casemiro right now. He's very important in the midfield in Real Madrid.
Yeah, he has a kind of unique position as well because he's a bit like in one sense, he's a traditional stopper, or like a defensive midfielder, but he can also go forward. He scores a lot of goals. If you compare it to defensive midfielders of the past, like Makalele, for example, he has a lot of the qualities that Makalele had as a defensive player, but he also scores goals, which is absolutely, an amazing player. And I didn't know that Benitez was the first one to play him in the center of the pitch. I didn't know that. So yeah, like, is it interesting? I'll tell you another parallel with Benitez, with that situation. Who did Benitez take over from? I remember at Real Madrid. Like who was before him at Real Madrid? Who was the manager?
Yeah, before him, I don't remember right now. Solari.
I can't remember, but after him, I think it was Ancelotti. Was it not?
Oh, Ancelotti. I don't know. I know that Benitez is a profile that doesn't like to Real Madrid players because he's very rigid. He's very square-minded. I think they prefer someone like Ancelotti or Zidane that they let them to do special things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they give them freedom.
So many tactics.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason why the team played better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are lots of theories about why it didn't work, but it is interesting. Like Ancelotti came after Benitez; they won the Champions League, and then at Everton, Ancelotti was the manager before Benitez, and it's interesting because like on both occasions he lasted 6 or 7 months in the job. So obviously Ancelotti is a bad signal for Rafa Benitez. He shouldn't take a job before or after Ancelotti. It's a bad thing. But yeah, it's what you said about the style. I think that was a big problem for Benitez because Benitez is a very organised manager. He likes the teams to have a structure, and I think the training is very intense or intensive, I should say. We actually had an interview with I think it was Calvert-Lewin talking about Benitez's training, and he said it was fantastic. He said he enjoyed it, and I think it's okay at a smaller team or an English team, but when you come to Real Madrid, I don't think they want that intensive training. I think they would prefer something more relaxed, Yeah. I think they just want to go to the gym and play their football and maybe do one or two other things, but they don't want it to be too intensive. Do you think he'll come back to Spain to manage, or would you see him with a future in England?
You never know. I think Benitez feels comfortable there. And when the coaches are employees, it's very difficult to know where they are going to go because it depends on what teams are in a bad situation. You never know. I think it will be a possibility to come back to Spain or even go to Italy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even go to Italy, of course.
He went to Napoli.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he's been around, quite a few places. So I think he could. Listen, in my opinion, he's a world-class manager. I think he's a top manager, and you can have bad moments at clubs. Like look at Bielsa at Lille, for example. It didn't work out for him there, and then he got Leeds United promoted after however many years, 16, 17 years, whatever it was. So and the other success he's had. So, listen, it's like any job. You've probably had a bad period at your job as well. So I've had bad periods at my job. So, it can happen, and I'm sure he'll be back soon. But I agree with you. I think he'll be more likely to stay in England than come to Spain because his life is very much there. His children live there. And I think they're very, very happy in that situation. Anyway, we've not got too much time left, so we're going to finish the programme, as always, by giving you the clues for next week's Mystery Player.
Mystery Player.
Okay, Ruben, you can help me this time. Last time I was on my Todd, as I said earlier, to be alone. In Scotland, we say to be on your Todd, T-O-D. So, yeah, you can help me out. What was clue number 1?
Clue number 1, his first name is Marcos.
Very good.
Obviously, nobody knows that, or nobody calls by that name.
Yeah, exactly. His first name is Marcos. Yeah, it's like, if I say any more, it's a big clue about where he's from. So, yeah, his first name is Marcos. But I didn't know that until you told me a few days ago. I had no idea that his name was Marcos. Very good. Clue number 2. He's the most capped player in the history of his country. Now, I love this expression in English, to be capped. Okay? How would we say?
Ser convocado.
Convocado. Okay?
Ser convocado.
Do you know why we say to be capped or to have a cap for a country?
No.
What's a cap? We'd say a gorra. Yeah, it's like a type of...
Claro. Vale.
Type of hat. Because when you used to play an international game in Scotland or England, they used to give the players a cap as like a souvenir, como un recuerdo. As a souvenir, they give you a cap. So that's why we say he has 100 caps for his country.
Sí, porque yo sí que he escuchado utilizar to call, ¿no?
To call up. To call up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was called up for his team. But yeah, you could say he was capped in a game. He was capped for his country in a game against Slovenia, whatever. Okay, you can say that. So this player is el jugador más convocado con su selección. He's the most capped player in the history of his country. Not a bad record. Clue number 3, Ruben.
He played in 3 consecutive World Cup finals.
Very good. That's
not easy.
No, it's not easy, but it's a massive clue for you guys. Absolutely massive clue. He played in 3 consecutive World Cup finals. So think of a country that's been in 3 consecutive World Cup finals, and you're very, very close to finding who this guy is. Clue number 4. This is a little known fact outside of Spain. I think a lot of people in Spain remember this. But people outside of Spain don't know that this guy played for Real Zaragoza.
Yeah, we share a picture in Twitter.
True. Let me get that up.
Against Amavisca.
Against Amavisca. Let's get this up. I'm a bit slow off the mark today. Yes, here we go. Okay, so those of you watching on Twitch and on our Twitter page as well, you can see the picture of this guy, this player with the you say the chapa, no? With the cover on his face, okay? So I don't think it gives too much away, the photo, but again, put all the clues together. Who do you think this is? And clue number 5, Ruben.
He retired at AC Milan.
Very good, okay. You say Milan, we would probably say AC Milan is probably the best way to say it. And interesting thing, we would say at Milan or at AC Milan because it's the club, it's not the city. If you say he retired in Milan, it's like haciendo cualquier cosa. He could be doing anything. But if you say he retired at AC Milan, it means that he retired at that club. 5 massive clues for you. I think it's quite easy this week, but some of you might have a bit of difficulty. As always, if you think you know the answer, you can write to us at speak_football, and let us know who you think the mystery player is. Thanks to those of you who joined us on Twitch, and if you're listening on Vaughan Radio, stick around with us here for La Hora Extra with Richard Vaughan, which is on right after this show. Thanks for joining us as always, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.